everybody, it's Kelsee Briana J, and in today's video I'm doing a review rewind where I'm going to be talking about some products that are a blast from the past, products that I've likely done a dedicated review to, and I want to pull them back out and let's reassess these products. Let's look at them, let's use them. I'm going to give you some updated opinions about them. Some of the products are newer than others, but I just feel like I want to play with my collection more. You all have been asking for these type videos, so today I'm going to be playing with some of the goodies that I've already had in my stash. If you guys want to know exactly which products I'm going to be using, I will have them listed down below in the description box. Or if you just want to keep watching, you'll be able to see which products I'm going to be playing with. Or another hint, the products that were in the thumbnail, those are the products that I'm going to be playing with today. But before we get into that, I want to give a special thank you to Luisa Jewelry for collaborating with me for my video today. They reached out to me and they asked me if I would want to work with them, and I was like yes, because I absolutely love their pieces because they have really beautiful, dainty, eclectic jewelry. And so when they reached out, I was super excited and I happily accepted. So Luisa Jewelry, if you all have never heard of the brand, is a sustainable jewelry company, and they make luxury pieces without charging luxury prices. And I love their brands because it's very cool. They have super modern things, and you all know typically I love very big jewelry pieces, especially my hoop earrings. But on the opposite side, the other side of Kelsee, I also love pieces like this that are super understated because I feel like they're just very dainty, but yet they still make a statement at the same time. And Luisa Jewelry is full of pieces like that. So I am 100% into it. This ear cuff right here is just so cool. I cannot wait to continue wearing that. And then these earrings right here, I feel like these are a more cool version of your traditional small studded earrings. I wanted something that was a little bit more out of the box. So I love these pieces. And also this necklace is from them. They make pieces that are not going to rust or fade over time. You know how jewelry can sometimes do that if you use it all the time. Their pieces are super high quality and I love that about them. Another reason why I really like Luisa Jewelry is because they make pieces that are sustainable as to reduce their carbon footprint, which by the end of 2020 they are hoping to have a net zero carbon footprint, and they make sure that it's ethical, so they don't go and source materials from different places that are unethical. So I appreciate all of that, and I appreciate them for reaching out to me and sending me these beautiful pieces of jewelry that I'm definitely going to be rocking for sure. I actually have worn them a few times in my video, but I haven't said anything to you guys. But today is the day we're going to be talking about this. And if you guys want to check out their pieces, I will have a link to their website down in my description box. Thank you again to Luisa for partnering with your girl. I love, 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 love everything that I picked out. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get into the review rewind. Let's talk about these products, and I'm going to show you all how to do the look that you see right now. So I hope that you all enjoy, and if you all would like me to do more review rewind videos, and yes, that is hard to say, let me know which products you would like for me to pull out of the archives. Make sure you let me know down in the comment section, and I'll chat with you all shortly. I need my foundation on first, so I'm gonna shake it up and let's apply the Cover FX Power Play foundation. I'm just gonna squeeze some right on my beauty blender. Y'all know you can't really measure it because it has this little squeeze thing, and I am gonna take this all over. I don't want a lot of foundation today, just a little bit. It's been such a long time since I used this too. I don't even remember how it looks really. I mean, it's blended out nicely. It is a little bit less fluid than I typically go for. So it's almost like it's creamier. So a little bit thicker. It's giving me about a medium buildable amount of coverage. I definitely see where I can see through my skin. Right now, I don't really have a lot of imperfections that I'm dealing with on my skin, thankfully. So that little bit that I did put, I feel like that's good. But I think this foundation is a satin finish for sure. This one is G plus 60. I still think this one is a good color match. It matches very well. I bet you I probably initially bought this foundation during the winter time, because I do think that in the summertime, or ordinarily during this time of the year, I would have already gotten a little bit of a tan. But since I'm still trying to stay in the house for the most part, I don't really have one. So this one still matches me very well, and I like the undertone of it. So far, I still really like this foundation. The only thing that I don't like is that it's kind of difficult to squeeze it out, because this foundation really isn't in a shape to where it's easy to squeeze it out, or it feels right holding it and squeezing it out. So that would be the only update that I would make, like make it more comfortable to squeeze. I think that my skin looks pretty, very satin-like, almost matte, but not quite there. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the Urban Decay Stay Naked Concealer, because I love this concealer. I don't talk about it that much on my channel, but ever since I tried it, this concealer has been loved for me, because it still is sort of matte. So when I have a satin-like foundation like the one that I have on right now, I go in with this concealer because it doesn't really change the texture, and it matches the texture of foundations that have that type finish. So let me just blend her out. Get a little bit of that coverage going. Pretty. Very smooth. I'm not mad. So let me go ahead and set this with my Laura Mercier powder. Good old faithful. I've got to put on some lip balm. So I'm going to put on some fresh sugar coconut lip balm, because my lips are dry. Used to drink some more water too, but for now, this lip balm is going to help. So I'm going to let this sink in, especially since I'm going to use a liquid lipstick. So now I pulled out this Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder, and let's use this. I've only used this once, I think, because I think it's a little bit too dark for my personal preferences. So I'm going to go in with a very light hand with it. So I'm going to take my Rephr P22 brush, dip just a little bit in there. I'm going in really light-handed. That's pretty. I can see that on my skin, if I go in with too much of this, this can really make me look not sculpted but bruised, because the undertone of it is very much so cool toned to mimic a contour. So this is definitely a sculpting powder, not really a bronzing powder. There's not a lot of warmth to it. You cannot go in with this with a very heavy hand, because it can just be too much on my complexion. If you have a deeper complexion, this will be nice, because this is going to work for people who have deeper complexions. So if you have a MAC NC50 complexion, you could use this and easily sculpt your face, and it'll show up beautifully. But this powder is really smooth. It's going on really easily, pretty opaque. It's not giving me a hard time blending it out. It's not skipping. It's just sculpting out the face in a really nice and natural way. Next, let's dip into this Hourglass palette, and it is very metallic from what I remember. So I kind of dabbled in it on a live stream that I did a few weeks ago, and a lot of you all were curious about it, because this was a limited edition makeup item that was launched about in 2017 or so, maybe 2018, but it's been gone and people have been asking for it, so they brought it back. And I actually had forgotten about it. And so when I saw that they were bringing it back, I was like, let me definitely pull this out, because I know a lot of people are curious about if this works on brown skin. So let's go ahead and see. I actually did a video using this, and I believe it was focused pretty much about this and maybe another item. But this right here is so I said, like my boy Gucci Mane said, because this is very much so a metallic highlight, like they said. There's no second guessing it, because it goes on, and depending on your complexion and your undertone, it can look very much so silver and stark. So for me, I don't mind this. I think this is pretty. I think it has a time and a place. Of course, Hourglass highlighters are very finely milled. I think that they're super high quality. But I think if you have a deeper complexion on you, I think these colors can look sort of intense. That's not to say you can't wear them. It's just to say that these colors do have somewhat of a silver base to them. So if you don't prefer that, or if you feel like that's going to look too icy against your complexion, then I would stay away from it. But I definitely think you can wear it. And even the lighter color, I think that it'll look pretty, especially if you layer it. But you all can see it's highly reflective, but it's almost like whitish. I think they're pretty. It's just they're very intense. And you can tell that these were a product of 2 or 3 years ago when highlighters were really intense. And I think since then, the intense highlight trend has definitely toned down. I'm going in with the middle one, by the way. This one is a Royal and Light Nickel BLM 265. But that super intense highlight trend, I think that's died down a little bit. But, you know, if you're still jonesing for that, this one is one of the better super intense highlighters that I have in my collection because the formulation of it is just beautiful. Now let's dip into this Aether Beauty Crystal Charged Cheek Palette, and this one is in Rose Quartz, and this right here looks super beautiful. I love colors like this. They are a little bit lighter and a little bit more muted in tone, but that is my preferred blush color, especially this middle one right here where it's a little bit melon, but it also has just a subtle hint of pink to it. I love those tones on me. This highlight right here is icy as well, but just like with the Hourglass one, I think it's really going to come down to your preference because on my complexion, it almost gives you a whitish tone. But if you put it on as a highlight and have a warmer toned blush with it, it can work for my complexion. But if you have a deeper complexion, again, you can wear it. You just have to know what your makeup preferences are if you like your highlight to look like that on you. So I'm going to take this middle shade right here. This one is an Esom X52 brush. And, ooh, that is pigmented. Okay, so let me knock a little bit of that off. So just a little bit. Wow. That did both of my cheeks. This one definitely has more because I went in with it first. So I'm just going to pick up just a little bit and pop that on the other cheek just to balance it out. But I love this formula. I love these colors. This is a super beautiful rosy type color on my cheeks. It looks very natural, like a natural flush without trying too hard. But this cheek palette is super beautiful and it's subtle. So love that. Let's do some eyes. I'm going to zoom you all in so you all can get up close and personal up in this thing. So weird being close. Let me go in with a little bit of this Anastasia eye primer, which I still love, by the way. And I love it because it basically blanks out my eyelids. And I like that from time to time. Now let's bring it on back with this Sweet Peach palette. And this one is a super throwback. But you all know when this palette first came on the scene, this was all the rage. So let's see if I still think that it's popping. So I'm going to go in with the color Puree first. And this is a Sonia G Crease 2 brush. And I'm going to take this directly in the crease. And then I'm going to buff it out. So back and forth. This is going to be my transition shade as well as my crease shade. So back and forth. And I'm going to distribute the products right in the crease first and then go in circular motions to diffuse it up. It's showing up nicely. It still has a pretty smooth blend, so I'm not mad at it. I feel like this color is a nice color for my crease if you have a deeper complexion than mine. I also think that you would like this color for your crease as well because this is a nice starting point for your eye look. So far so good. I'm going to take the same brush in the color Summer Young. I'm going to move down just a little bit and take that directly in the crease. And this is going to give me a little bit more of a sultry effect, a little bit more smoky honey. Next, I'm going to go into Charmed, I'm sure. I'm going to take that right on the outer corner. Right there. Nothing more, nothing less. That's all I want. Just a little bit of something on the outer corner to give it some pizzazz. Now I'm going to pick up a little bit of nectar with a Delium 773 brush. I might have picked up a little bit too much, but I just want to pop that right on the inner corner. Then I'm going to take the color Just Peachy. Let's pop that on the lid. I want this to be kind of simple. The color is pretty. I want it to pop a little bit more, so I might go in with a little bit of spray just to intensify it. But let's see what we can get just by building it up on our own. So I'm going to take it and blend it next to that inner tear color, and I'm going to blend it next to this outer corner color. This color is taking a while to build it up, but it's building up, so I'm just going to take my time and keep on at it. I think I'm just going to leave it without the spray too. and make sure that there are no holes, no gaps. That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to add a fluid line eyeliner from MAC. This one is dipped down. These are still some of my favorite gel eyeliners in the entire land because they work well. They don't give you a hard time to get the color. And I know this one is reliable and it just doesn't take a long time to do. Pop it on and it's like moving on. Now let me put on some eyeliner. I'm going to take one from Esam, and this one is a brown eyeliner. And I just want a little bit right in here. And I'm thinking caramelized is gonna be the one. And then let me go back into Nectar and pop that on the inner corner. I should have sprayed my setting spray first, but I forgot I even had one. This one is the Fenty setting spray. So I pulled out another Fenty product, and this one is a Stunner lip paint. This one is in the color Unattached. And I thought this would be a pretty combo. I don't know if I still think that, but I already have it out, so I guess I'm going with it. Do I like that together? Does this match, y'all? Look at that. It gets on your teeth really bad. I'm trying to think, do I think this goes together? I guess I think it does. Have to think about that one. So with this, start on your outer lip first. Okay. Then let it dry down just a little bit and then start to blend it out. Otherwise, you'll see what you just saw with me. It'll get on your teeth. See how it's starting to dry down a little bit? It still will blend out. And then once it starts to dry down, you kind of go. And then that'll fill in any empty areas that you may have, because this lip doesn't totally dry down matte. It still has a little bit of slip to it, but it is probably 90% matte. So now let me zoom you out and let's talk about my updated thoughts on these products. So I hope that you all enjoyed this review rewind. So let's talk about whether or not I would purchase these products again, because all of these products are things that I've had for a while. So if I had to go out and get it again today, would I? So let's start off with the foundation. So I really like the Cover FX foundation. Like I said, I think that it's a very smooth foundation. It gives me a nice amount of coverage. I think that the finish of it is really pretty. And I think that this color is pretty much spot on. So if I were going out today, would I repurchase this foundation? Yes. I still like this foundation. I think that it's very beautiful. The only thing is the packaging. But aside from that, it is a really nice foundation. And they have a lot of different colors. And any company that can get the golden neutral undertone right, they always have points in my book. So I love it. The Urban Decay concealer, for sure. I think this concealer is beautiful. I love the amount of coverage it gives. It lifts me up. It doesn't make me look too stark. It doesn't feel drying. It doesn't look drying. So for sure, I would repurchase this concealer. So as far as the cheek products, the Kevyn Aucoin, I like this. I don't feel like it is 100% necessary for me and my makeup taste. So if I had to repurchase this, I probably wouldn't, just based off of the fact that I don't really use sculpting or contour products that much. But it's nice to have in my collection, but I haven't reached for it since I got it. So I probably wouldn't purchase it again, but that doesn't mean it's not a good product. It still is good. It's just I don't use it. As far as this Hourglass Highlighting Trio, if I had to repurchase it today in 2020, to be completely honest, I probably would not buy it again, simply because I don't really wear blinding highlights that much. But that's not to say that I don't enjoy having this in my collection, because if I wanted to have that, I can always go to this and I know that it's going to be a sophisticated amount of shine. So I really do like it, but looking at the price tag of it and looking at how much I actually use it, I would probably pass on it if this were a completely new product. This Aether Beauty Blush / Highlighter Trio, I was about to say duo, but it's a trio. I love this. I did not purchase this. They sent it to me. But if I were in the store and I was swatching this, I would likely purchase it because I love colors like this. I love this type blush color. I love the trio. This one is icy, but like I said, I would go in with just a little bit of it on the high planes of my cheeks, and I think that it would be beautiful. So I would definitely purchase this if they hadn't sent it to me, because I think that it's gorgeous and it's very subtle. Right up my blush alley. The Fresh Sugar Coconut Lip Balm, for sure I would buy it again. I have bought it again. That one is actually one of the second ones that I've purchased from Fresh. Really nice lip balm, very moisturizing, and it makes my lips feel nice and plush. So it definitely prepped my lips for this liquid lipstick from Fenty, which I still like these. These are some of the only liquid lipsticks that I still have in my collection, and I actually keep the red one out because I think that it's very beautiful. Granted, it is a learning curve when you put it on because, as you all saw, it's very liquidy. So if you put it too close to the inside of your lips, it's going to get inside, it's going to get on your teeth. So keeping that in mind, applying it in the way that I showed you guys how to apply it, I think that you'll have a nice time with these, and it's not drying. They're not overly matte. They just have a really nice velvety matte, soft matte finish, and I still really like these. I would like for her to come out with more colors. Actually, I really think these are pretty. That brings me to my next Fenty products, which is the What It Do Refreshing Spray. I wouldn't buy this again. I feel like it does an okay job. I don't walk away feeling like my makeup looks overly beautiful. I don't feel like it looks any more glowy. I don't feel like it makes it last any longer. It's just something that sort of hydrates, but really it's not that impactful because I think that the mist on it is too fine, and sometimes when mists are like that, it's not really doing anything. I think that it's just a little bit too graceful, but it's okay. I have it, so I'm going to use it and enjoy it, but do I feel like I need to have it again? No. When I run out of it, am I going to go buy it again? No. And lastly, we have this eyeshadow palette, this Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, and I think this palette is cool. I think that it was from an era and it has a time and a place, but if I'm looking at it today, 2020, I've had it for 4 years, would I repurchase this eyeshadow palette right now? So if I'm looking at the color story of it and looking at how the eyeshadows apply, I'm going to go ahead and say I probably would not repurchase this today because in all actuality, for this to be a peachier eyeshadow palette, it really only has 2 peach colors in it, and the other colors are very neutral. And I think that in 2016, the quality of these eyeshadows was really great. It blended out. You have everything in here that you need to do a complete eye look, multiple eye looks. You have colors in here where you can really get smoky. You have your colors in here to do a multitude of daytime eye looks, but it's not really that exciting, and I feel like the quality of this eyeshadow palette is just okay. So I had to spend a lot more time blending out eyeshadows, and in 2020 I've become super accustomed to just being able to blend once and get that opacity and get that blendability that I'm looking for, and I feel like this eyeshadow palette is kind of dated because it doesn't have that. I did have to build it up. It did work. My eye look is pretty, but I have other eyeshadow palettes in my collection right now where I feel like I could do this look in half of the time and get even more intense pigmentation without having to build it up like I did these. But I did think that it was cute, that it smelled like peaches, and I did really like it in 2016. But as the makeup industry has progressed and these formulas have improved, I don't feel like this one really just holds up to being just like this super fire palette that if I walked past it today and this is a new product, that I would be like, ooh, let me drop my coins on this. Not unless it was like a $20 eyeshadow palette, because I feel like for $20 to $25, this will be phenomenal quality. But if this is anywhere above $40, $45, $50, it's no. And that's not a diss to Too Faced, because like I said, I have had this palette for a long time and it was very beautiful and I loved it back in the day. But 2020 is like, it's just not, it's not top 10, it's not top 20, it's not really top 50 in my collection right now. But I think my look is pretty, very nice, very peachy, very southern gal. I think the products that I used all came together to give me a really nice look, and I think that it's important to reach back, try out some products that I've had in my collection, and just assess whether or not they need to remain. And I probably will keep all of these products just for reference, but am I going to be reaching for them like that? For the most part, no. The older items, I'm just probably going to keep them in my archive. So that's my thoughts on everything. Let me know your thoughts on these products down in the comment section. And again, I want to give thanks to Luisa Jewelry for collaborating with me on today's video. I appreciate you all. Definitely go check out their pieces. I am in love with my pieces. I've been wearing them non-stop. So if you all want to check out anything that they have on their website, again, I will have a link to their website in my description box. And I will check you all in my very next video, which will be super, super soon. Smooches. Bye.